If you've ever gotten a Merry Christmas text from a toxic ex and felt your stomach drop, well, welcome to Hoover season. I'm your host, Allison K. Dagny, and you're listening to the Be a Better You podcast. Now, all month long, I've been focusing on topics to help you through the holidays. We've talked about all kinds of things related to Stressmas, to the holiday savior complex, and why you feel pulled back into the past and how to ground into the present. And today, what I really want to talk about is this narcissistic Hoover season. And this is a real thing, and it usually comes at the time when you're feeling most vulnerable. So, a few things that I want to mention before we start. If a holiday text or a Christmas card or a gift or something like that from an ex is still making your stomach drop, you're not weak, you're not going backwards, you're not regressing. This is a trauma bond response. This is not a failure on your part, okay? If you're still impacted or affected by this, it's just your nervous system, okay? And I also want you to know that your body is going to remember whatever your mind tries to forget. And the mind-body thing is real, and we cannot neglect either one. We have to work with both. So times like this, around the holidays, in December specifically, is loaded with emotional memories and old patterns and all kinds of sensory things that are happening that might trigger you. So if you feel extra vulnerable right now, please know this is normal. Holidays are a time when narcissists like to reach out. And hoovering people is not love, right? It's not an attempt at reconciliation. It's not a growth opportunity. This is emotional bait. This is a strategy to pull you back in. And once you know how to decode this, you're not going to fall for it, okay? So my goal today is to help you understand why these messages might feel so powerful, why you might have the urge to respond Merry Christmas back, or I hope you have a nice holiday or whatever, right? And how to take your power back and what to do the moment this Hoover hits you. So you don't get pulled back into another round of chaos. Because I've seen this happen before. I've seen it happen with my own clients. And just as a quick reminder, you can pause this episode anytime. Like if you feel triggered or if you need a breath or a pause, just put your hand on your chest and come back when you're ready, okay? And if you're struggling with no contact, there is a hidden gem audio in my free Survivor Starter Pack that walks you through how to truly stay no contact, especially in times like these when the Hoover might hit. So definitely grab that. The link will be in the show notes for you. Okay, so let's talk about this Hoover season and why even just a tiny little text message or something like that can really derail you. Now, as I said before, the holidays, or December in particular, can be prime time for a narcissist or an abuser to bait you. And the reason why is because there's a lot of nostalgia at this time of year. Sometimes people are lonely. There may be holiday pressure, right? So this is kind of the perfect setup. So you need to be aware of this. You're not alone, and you're not crazy if you are feeling that pull towards them, okay? But we need to implement strategies, and we need to implement nervous system techniques to help you so that you can stay no contact or low contact or whatever that might be and not get pulled back. So also, if another episode I have is episode 19, so this is all about boundaries. So if you need to take back control by setting healthy boundaries to truly, help yourself with that, that could be another episode too. So just scroll all the way down to episode 19 and it will pair, pretty well with today's episode too. So we're going to talk about 6 types of holiday Hoovers. Okay. Did you know there were 6 types? What that Merry Christmas text or whatever really means, and why your body responds even when your mind is like logically saying no, how to break that connection, and then a tool to help you stop spiraling. So first and foremost, let's talk about why December, it really activates this hoovering behavior. Because a narcissist really hates feeling irrelevant. If you've ever been with somebody who is narcissistic, they may ruin holidays. They may make it all about them. They might claim that you didn't do enough, or that you don't really care about them, or you didn't put enough effort or time into their gifts or making it special for them, right? So it's all about them feeling important, feeling acknowledged, feeling relevant. So they hate feeling irrelevant, or irrelevant. And they also don't really like to see you move on. So if they have the suspicion that you are moving on, right, they're not going to like that. For a lot of people, narcissists and abusers included, holidays feel symbolic. They feel like, oh, this is like nostalgia. This is like time that we can reflect on the past and all the good times. And right. So what does that mean? That means, ooh, I can capitalize on this opportunity, because there's going to be a weakness on the other person's part, right? So this is strategic. This isn't like just, oh, the holidays are, no, there is actual strategy behind this. They want supply from you. They want attention. They want control. They want validation. They want relevancy, all these things. And they're going to reach out, like casting a little line out into the water to see who's going to bite, right? Because it's usually this time of year that it works best, okay? So I want to remind you that this isn't like romantic, or this isn't just the kindness coming out because 'tis the season, right? This is actually strategic. And to them, right, you are not special to them. You are useful to them. You are special, okay? Like, don't get it twisted. You are special. You're just not really special to them. You are useful to them because they want to use you to get something for themselves, to fill a need, a gaping hole within them. Okay? So in my 30-minute root cause calls, I help people break these patterns because we uncover the subconscious beliefs that's causing you to want to go back, causing you to pull back. And so I help people so that we don't do that. And I will tell you, I wouldn't do that. I don't think you should do that. You're going to do whatever you want to do. But if you need that kind of support, I'm really good at helping you uncover your subconscious beliefs. I can teach you how to rewire those subconscious beliefs, and I can help you feel more powerful. So a 30-minute root cause call can help you at least get a good idea or a good start about what's at the root of you feeling pulled back when these kinds of things happen. So if you ever want to schedule one, you can always do that from the link in the show notes or on my website at www.radiateandrise.com. Okay, the 6 types of holiday hoovering. Let's talk about these, okay? So these are just ones that I came up with that you probably resonate with. Number 1, the Merry Christmas text, the Happy Holidays text, whatever. Typically, it's going to be simple. It'll be kind of vague. Sometimes maybe they might be a little bit emotionally manipulative, like, oh, I hope you're having a Merry Christmas, or like something like that. Or maybe it is designed to like trigger nostalgia. Oh, Merry Christmas. I wish it didn't have to be this way this year. Or like, you know what I mean? Like something like that. The second one is when they try to pretend that they're experiencing emotional growth. So I've been doing a lot of thinking, or with my therapist, we talked about this, or I've been reading some really interesting books about this, and blah, 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 blah. Like, and what that does is it feeds into your hope of them changing, and it feeds into your desire to know that they're actually doing something that could benefit them and then potentially benefit you. And so this like little bit of hope that maybe you've always wanted to hear, oh, they're doing therapy, oh, they're thinking, oh, they're reading, self-help books, like, oh, maybe they are changing, right? But let me tell you this, words are words. Actions and behavior are what create the patterns that you need to look at, okay? Words do not tell us anything. Words do not give us evidence. The behavior does. The action does. That's what tells you, the truth. Okay? So I've been doing a lot of thinking, or I've been reading these books. Like, even people who read books, even people who go to therapy, even people who do a lot of self-reflection, that doesn't mean they're making changes. Okay? You can do all the self-reflection in the world and never make a change. Okay? So the actual behavior is what we need to focus on. The third one is this, maybe if you have kids or pets together, I miss the kids. I miss our family traditions. I miss when we were all together, right? Or, remember when we did this, like, to talk about things from the past, to start to get you to feel sad or nostalgic. And these are guilt-based strategies. They're designed to exploit your sensitivity or your heart or your empathy, your love, right? They're designed. And I'm not saying they don't really miss those things, right? But the timing of it and the reach out and like this is all hoovering. Hoovering, trying to suck you back in. The fourth one is the gift drop-off Hoover. Okay, an uninvited gift at your door, in your mailbox, or maybe with the kids. These kinds of things are intentional. They are meant to get a reaction out of you. If they send you something, what's the natural thing if somebody sends you something? Pick up the phone and call, send a text, thank you, I appreciate it, how nice of you, oh, maybe they've changed, right? Like, this is intentional. So you have to be aware of this. The fifth one is the crisis Hoover, where it's like an emergency. There's a meltdown. There's some sort of dramatic thing happening right before the holiday. They're having a physical health problem and they really just want to talk to you, or they're having a hard time because their parents are getting divorced and they don't know how to deal with it, right? They need you. They need you. This is the crisis Hoover. They need your support. They need your help. They need you to feel sorry for them, feel bad for them, right? The sixth one is the social media Hoover. This one's very common. This is the like of a post, the story views, the reposts of nostalgic things about the times that we were together, right? These are things that are designed to get your attention and designed to kind of infiltrate your mind and manipulate you, really. So none of these are real love things. They're all bait. So don't take the bait, okay? Now, I wanted to share like a little tool with you of how to decode the Merry Christmas text, okay? And let's just pretend that it says Merry Christmas and there's like a heart or a Christmas tree or like a broken heart or some sort of emoji, a crying emoji or something, whatever, right? Well, Merry Christmas is like someone knocking on your door, sending you a card, right? Like, hello, I'm here, letting you know. It's like opening the loop, okay? The little emojis, if those are there, can be an extra emotional nudge, right? Emojis, because in a text, they don't, like actual text, you can't read someone's tone. You can't read if they're like, Merry Christmas or Merry Christmas. Like, you can't read the tone. So the emoji gives some context to the tone, right? If it's a broken heart, if it's a sad, if it's a Santa Claus, if it's a present, like, it's like, ooh, it kind of keeps you guessing, like you don't know. So that's like kind of an emotional nudge that they can include. So just be aware of that. There is meaning. Usually there's a reason people choose the emojis that they choose. If they're not asking a question, what that does is it just keeps them in control, right? They just sent the text and then they wait for your response, which kind of keeps them in the power position unless you allow that, right? If you don't give them the power, they don't, and by that I mean by not responding. No accountability, right? So if they don't say like, Merry Christmas, I'm really sorry for the way things have worked out, blah, 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 blah. I don't need a response from you. I just wanted to let you know I was thinking about you. I hope you have a Merry Christmas, right? That may not be quite as much of a hoovering attempt, right? If it's just like, if it's more vague and like things like those are like, it's like when you watch a preview for a movie or a TV show and they kind of leave you hanging and like you want to watch more, it's like that. It's like, oh, they didn't give me enough information, so now I kind of like, I'm curious. Like it instills a sense of curiosity in you, makes you questioning, starts the ruminating, like all of those things. So that's kind of how, and obviously I can't decode every single message anyone would send, but like I have a client who had broken up with her ex and didn't want to block this person because of her own fears. If I block this person, I'm not sure what they will do. Will this person become violent? Will this person come to my house? If they know that I've blocked them, that could actually result in something worse for me. Now, they didn't share kids or anything like that, so it would have been easy for her to block her, except for she had this like concern of his unpredictability. And that's a legitimate fear. So she's had to kind of dance this like line of responding just to kind of keep this person at arm's length. But the power that she has in doing this is that she's reprogramming her mind so that she doesn't get pulled back into the hoovering. So we work on her beliefs like, I am strong enough to say no. I can craft a message that is not going to be opening the door for more communication. I can be clear and I can be kind. Like there's lots of things that happen on a subconscious level that most people don't realize. And so you might get a message and like, oh, I should respond. Oh, I should be nice. Oh, I should at least say Merry Christmas back. Oh, I should, right? Whatever. And each situation is going to be different, right? Her situation is different because she was worried about his reaction if she were to block him. So her choice is, I'm not going to block him, but I need to be strong enough to not give in, right? And that's what she's done. And she's done a beautiful job about it. So if that's something that you want help with, like it's totally possible to do. We just have to figure out what your subconscious beliefs are that are running the show, right? You know, like if somebody sends you a text message and says Merry Christmas, pretty much anybody else, you'd be like, Merry Christmas, because they're normal, healthy people. But when you're dealing with a narcissist or an abuser, right, you may not want to respond to that. You may want to block them. You may have other things going on that you need to be mindful of. For instance, like my client, she's concerned of this and has legitimate reasons to believe that this person could basically fly off the handle if she blocked him. So she had to figure out sort of like a hybrid way to deal with it and build the strength within herself to not get pulled back in. And that's what she did. Okay? So the overall theme or thing I want you to remember here about this, like these like text messages that come in is that it's not meaningful. Okay? It's not got a bunch of meaning behind it. Like, oh, they're so nice or they've changed, or like, no, it's just literally a Merry Christmas text. Can you look at it like that? Like, it's just a text. It's just a text message. Like, let's not give a bunch of meaning to it. Okay? It doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to be like, oh, they're sitting at home and they're sad and they're thinking about me. Like, no, they could literally just be trying to pull you back in. Okay? It's like checking to see if you're still available as supply, to give them the attention, to give them the feelings that they crave or whatever it is that they're looking for. So this is important, not to read too much into those things either. Okay? You could literally give it a thumbs up if you have an iPhone, just like, or like an emoji, thumbs up, Christmas tree, emoji. That's vague too. Give vague back. Okay. Now let's talk about why you feel this pull. Okay. And you've heard of trauma bonds and all of that, and that is going to be part of it. And again, I don't love the word trauma bond because I don't think it's a bond. We're not really bonded to these people. We're in a cycle of abuse. Okay. But most people understand that term, so that's why I use it. So this chemistry in your body of like wanting to feel the good feels again, right? Because an abuser doesn't always show you everything bad all the time. There are times that you guys laughed together, that you had fun together, that you felt really high emotional love feelings together, that maybe they stood up for you or they supported you, right? Those things are real and they have happened. So that's what you crave. That's what you want back, Okay? Now, they may have this same chemical thing with you, right? Not just you feeling it towards them, they may feel it towards you. So this like chemistry, they're craving something too. It's like addiction, really. Like when you think about it, it's like addicting feelings. Like I'm addicted to feeling these good feelings and I want them back. And I just hope and pray and just can see their potential and they could just be so good. And like, right? Like when it's good, it's really good. Like that's the thing. Like that's the craving. But that's not reality. And that's where we have to really stop ourselves and be like, wait a second. What horrible things did this person do to me? What bad things did they repeatedly do to other people? Who is this person at the core of who they really are, right? Because all the other stuff is just fake. The niceties and all that stuff, that's not real. That's not the real stuff. The real stuff is when the mask comes off. That's the real, okay? They may feel lonely. They may have some of their own personal holiday nostalgia. They might be ruminating and thinking about, I'm alone. I don't have somebody, blah, 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 right? Maybe they really love traditions or really you had some stability in their life and they really want that, but they can't have it because of their behavior. Their fear of being alone or not getting any supply, maybe even family pressure too. Like, if their family's like encouraging them to get back together with you or whatever. So if these things happen to you and you are feeling the pull, you could be feeling the pull just because of the emotional trauma of the abuse cycle. Okay, so it's really important to recognize what's the truth and what's just your emotions. Okay, what's your feelings versus what's the reality here. Okay, you're not weak. Your nervous system's activated. If somebody sends you a message, if somebody drops a present off, blah, 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 all these things, right? This holiday hoovering stuff, right? It's going to create thoughts in your mind. And those thoughts are going to lead to different emotions. And those emotions are going to dictate your behaviors. So if you're feeling real nostalgic, you might decide to respond back, open that door up, and then you're going to be sucked right back into that cycle. But if you have different beliefs like, yeah, I'm not interested in that. Nobody's going to hurt me again like that. I don't want someone like that in my life. I believe this person is a bad person, right? Like your reaction is going to be very different. My ex continues to say things like, hope you guys have a great holiday and, Merry Christmas and Happy Birthday in the Our Family Wizard app to me. I never respond to it. I never give him any response when it comes to that. If it doesn't apply to my kids, I don't respond to it at all. And some people might be like, oh, that's mean and that's not nice. And, he's just saying Merry Christmas. I don't care. This person hurt me for a long time and abused me. He doesn't deserve that from me. Sorry. Like, I wouldn't wish, a serial killer Merry Christmas. I just wouldn't. And that's just me. You can do whatever you want, but at the root of it, there's subconscious beliefs like, oh, I should be nice to people. Oh, I should wish them happy birthday. Oh, why? These are things I say, let's question it. Let's question it. Okay? And if you're listening to this and you're like, oh, I don't like that. We should be nice to everybody. Well, really? Should we? Should we be nice to everybody? Or is there anybody maybe we should just ignore? I think it's fair to ignore people who've hurt me deeply, tried to actually destroy me. Yeah, I'm not going to wish them a Merry Christmas, a Happy Birthday, hope the wind blows in your favor, a nothing, okay? That's just not me. And you get to do you. You get to do whatever you want, and I will support that. And I'm not going to tell you what to do. If you are one of my clients, and you can ask any one of my clients, I do not tell them what to do, unless you tell me to. Like I did have a client who told me, I don't want to go back to my ex. Tell me not to go back to him if I try to. And I told her, okay, I will tell you that, right? But typically I don't do that because it's your life and it's your experience and you get to choose, right? It's not my life. Okay, what next do we want to talk about? All right, let's talk about how you are actually the dopamine hit for them. Okay. So I talked about this before about being the like in addiction. Okay. And I don't mean to be like dismissive about like true addiction, like drug addiction or anything like that. So please don't. I'm just trying to use this as an analogy to help you understand that you are like a dopamine hit to your abuser. Okay. So they're not reaching out to you because of this like undying love and like you're so important to them. Okay? They're not reaching out to you because they've quote unquote changed and they're a different person and they're doing all these amazing things in their life and now they're, renewed. They're not reaching out to you because you're familiar, predictable, emotionally accessible. Okay? That's not why they're reaching out to you either. That might be like part of it because they do value those things in some sort of subconscious way. They're reaching out to you because you give them a dopamine hit. You spike the feeling for them that they're looking for. You are their easiest emotional fix. So think about it like this. And I've talked to my clients, I tell my clients this all the time. If you have a drug and you are the drug dealer and your ex is used to getting that drug all the time for free. And one day you shut the door and you say, no more. You do not get any more. You don't deserve this. You don't give me anything for it, which would be like kindness, support, love, caring, goodness, respect, compassion, safety, right? That would be like, okay, yeah, sure. Like here's your drug, right? We can exchange. But they don't. They take, and then they expect you to give. So you're in your house with your quote unquote drug. This is what we're using as the dopamine hit. They knock on the door, and I'm not saying like the literal door. This could be like a text message or like whatever, phone call. I'm using the analogy for this. They quote unquote knock on the door. Right? If you open that door, you're giving them the dopamine hit. You are essentially supplying them. You are the supplier. Okay? If you say, I'm not opening the door, I'm not giving you any more, what is that person going to do? They're not going to be happy about it because they need that drug. They're probably going to throw a fit, maybe have a tantrum, try to manipulate, try to lie, try to steal. If you've ever known anyone who is truly an addict, which I have, this is a serious thing. Like they will go to the ends of the earth to get what they need. They will steal from you. They will manipulate you. They will lie to you. They will steal from others. They will do anything to get it. Right? And I have experience with this because there was someone in my family who was an addict who lied to me to try to get money, stole from my family, manipulated, right? All of these things. So this is very it hits very close to home to understand this. And that's what they do. So the abuser, or the narcissist in this case, if they don't get what they want, they're going to do all those things too. They're going to manipulate, lie, steal, cheat, whatever, right? Beg, have a tantrum, like all the things, try to get what they want. But guess what? If you don't give them what they want, eventually they will go somewhere else. They're not going to just keep knocking on that same door who says, no. They're going to be like, okay, I need something. I need this hit immediately. Where can I go to get it? They will get it somewhere else. So rest assured, if you hold your ground, they'll find it. And it's not going to be at your doorstep. Okay? So you deserve more than somebody to use you for your supply. Let me just leave it at that. You deserve more than that. You deserve kindness. You deserve care. You deserve support. You deserve compassion. You deserve emotional empathy. You deserve so many more things than the bare minimum, especially because a lot of them just take anyway. All right, let's talk about boundaries, okay? So if you really want to take your power back, this is really the time to double down on boundaries. And I know people talk about boundaries. Oh, I have boundaries. Boundaries are what you will do, not what you are trying to get others to do. If you're trying to tell other people, don't talk to me like that, don't do this, don't do that, blah, 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 that's not a boundary. That's just you telling people what to do. Your boundary is saying, I am worth more than this. I am not going to deal with this. I am walking away. I am blocking you. If you don't act appropriately, I don't have to put up with it. I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to talk to you, right? So it's important to understand also that, like, if you do cut someone off, if you do go no contact, if you don't open the door, right? All the things. This isn't like you punishing them, okay? Your silence as a boundary is not a punishment, okay? It's you protecting yourself, your emotional well-being, your heart. It's your own self-protection. So you need to keep that in mind, like, because a lot of people think, ooh, that's mean. Boundaries are mean. They're going to think I'm being controlling. They're going to think I'm trying to tell them what to do. No, you're saying I'm protecting myself. That's the shift here. We have to think of boundaries differently. Because if you think of boundaries as, ooh, I'm being controlling, or I'm trying to tell people what to do, and maybe they try to even spin it that way. Some abusers definitely will. You just got to revert back to, no, this is me protecting my peace. This is me protecting myself, my family, my children, my home, whatever. And that's fair. You're allowed to do that. When to block somebody, that's going to be a personal choice. Just like with my one client, she had to make sure she didn't block this person. If you have children, obviously you can't. So you have to do it differently, right? But in some cases, the block is the best option. It will protect your peace. That doesn't mean they're not going to go other ways, like try to get through to you through a friend and send them a message, or try to create a profile on social media and like pretend to be somebody else and then message you, right? Because they will do other things like that. You just have to be vigilant, and you have to stand firm in what you decide. Okay. Okay, so I have that hidden gem audio I just want to remind you about on my free Survivor Starter Pack, which just includes like my most downloaded podcast episodes and this hidden gem, which you can't listen to on my podcast. It's only in this Survivor Starter Pack, which is how to truly stay no contact. And again, you can grab this after this episode and listen to that. So I told you I was going to give you like these 3 steps to help you with this. Like, how can we make you Hoover proof, right? That's what we want. We don't want you to be sucked back in. So number 1 is you have to get back into a way to like pause your nervous system. And what this is like, we may feel like an immediate urge to reply quickly because we were conditioned that way. I know with my ex, I had to answer the phone. I was always this was years ago, but we had a cordless phone in our landline, and I would have to take that out to the garden with me when I was outside, and I would like literally this clunky phone, I had to take it outside if I was outside, because if he called and I didn't answer, it would just be all hell to pay. So the conditioning of like having to respond right away, or like I need to give him an answer, like you don't, right? And this is something you'd have to condition out of your mind. Like, I don't have to respond right away. He doesn't need an answer immediately. She isn't going to freak out if I don't respond right now. They don't deserve it immediately, right? Okay? That's number 1. You don't have to give a response. Like, that's the thing you need to give yourself permission to like. And I think sometimes people think if they do respond immediately, it will relieve some like pressure, because it's like this overhanging thing that's like, oh my God, there's a message. But there needs to be some reframes about that too. Just because there's a message doesn't mean it needs an immediate response. I say this, and I've said it many times. If you haven't heard me say it, I'll say it again. Less is best. More opens the door. Okay? So if you do have to respond to something, right, because it has to do with the kids or whatever, less is best. And I'm even talking about like, okay, thumbs up, right? That is the absolute minimum. And if you can do that, you're going to be good, right? If you engage, more is going to open the door. There's going to be dialogue. There's going to be questions. There's going to be accusations. There's going to be a lot of other stuff. Like, don't engage. And they may still just write paragraphs. Okay, let them write the paragraphs. You don't even have to read them. Just know they're there. Don't engage. Breathe. Breathing is so important. It brings clarity. It brings actually your prefrontal cortex back online, because your nervous system is like, eep, like all of a sudden, like alarms are going off. Put your phone down. Walk away. Do something else. Go put a load of laundry in. Do your dishes. Whatever. You know? Give yourself some space to let your nervous system relax. And remind yourself, if this is just a trigger, this is just a moment, this is going to pass. Okay? Another thing you might do here, okay, so 3 steps. That's step number 1, pause your nervous system. Number 2 is decoding the message, like I said about the Merry Christmas, okay? Is there a pattern here? If you've been away from this person for a long time, and they've done this before, what did this feel like last time? Does their behavior actually align with healing, with being a healthy person, with things that you would really want that's real? Or does their behavior align more with manipulation? You've got to determine that. I mean, certainly I can help you with that. If you were one of my clients, and we would Voxer and I would help you. And then ask yourself, what do I actually want? Like, do I actually want to engage in this BS? Can I see through the lies, the mask, the manipulation, the strategy, right? That they're just trying to get what they want. They've always tried to get what they want. Why would I think anything different? If I do think anything different, isn't that really on me? Like, why do I think they're different just because they sent a text or just because they sent a Christmas present, right? And the message doesn't have to be just a text message. It could be any message. It could be an email. It could be a birthday card. It could be a message that the kids told you, right? That they said, oh, tell your mom this or whatever. So I can help you decode those messages if you need my help with that. I'm pretty good at that. And then when you know what the actual underlying intention is, it makes it so much easier for you, because it's like, oh, if I'm thinking that this person really has changed or they really care or whatever, right? That's going to impact you. We have to challenge those thoughts, because if you really don't want to engage with this person, believing that they've really changed, believing that they're a good person, believing that there's sweetness in them and all these things, right? Well, what do you think you're going to do? You're going to respond. You're going to get pulled back in. You're going to get hoovered, period. Okay? And then thirdly is you deciding to choose self-protection. Choose yourself. Choose yourself. Change everything. Choose yourself over nostalgia. Okay? Because guess what? No message, no reply is a reply. It speaks loud and clear. Silence speaks louder than closure even. A client and I were just talking about this the other day, because she ended up talking to her ex again, and he's making all these big promises, and within 2 weeks he showed that he just wasn't changed. And she basically went silent on him and was like, I don't need the closure. I don't need to give him closure, because that is the closure. He knows. He knows. She's basically gone completely silent on this person. Blocked him, all the things, right? Because she values herself. She realized this person's not changed. She didn't need much. She literally saw all the signs pretty quickly. And now she is on her way to being totally healthy in a better relationship with someone else. On her way, because she knows what she is worth. She knows her value. You don't need closure. Silence can speak it, right? So What can you do to really choose yourself, to protect yourself? What would you want someone else to do for you? If you were out at a restaurant with your best friend and your ex walked in and your ex started walking over to you to talk to you, what would you hope your best friend would do in that moment? Would you hope that she grabbed your arm and said, "We're leaving, come on, let's get the heck out of here"? Would you hope that she stood in front of you and told you, "You're not talking to him, we're leaving," right? That's what you need to do for yourself, to be your own best friend. Take your own self by the hand and walk your own self out of there. Right? You can do that because you are important and you need to choose yourself. Okay, so I hope this has been helpful to you. I hope, going through these things has given you something to think about. But you do not owe a response to any kind of holiday hoovers at all. You do not owe them any acknowledgement whatsoever, especially because you know now they're just trying to do it for their own selfish purposes. You owe yourself, what you do owe yourself is peace. You owe yourself peace. So if hoovering is one of these things that still has an emotional power over you, let's fix that. You can book a free 30-minute root cause call with me, and we're going to uncover whatever those beliefs are that are keeping that pull, that trauma bond alive, that keeps you on the hook. And then I can give you my best recommendations for a plan to break this for good. And you can get that in the show notes. Also, don't forget to grab that free starter pack to get your no contact audio, because that's going to be really helpful this month and maybe even later. So this year, you get to be unavailable for manipulation. Isn't that wonderful? And fully available for your own healing. So I really hope this has been helpful to you. If so, please leave me a review on any platforms that you listen to. I'd love to hear from you. And I will talk to you all next week. Happy holidays.